your notes on family?
No.
I don't have any notes on family.
We're supposed to be going out to dinner for Tiara's birthday. Mm-hmm. And she's currently...
in Tampa.
Right. I don't know if she's on her way.
Where are you guys going to go?
Just going to Outback. It's not really out.
Clean dishes courtesy of Joseph O'Lear Jr.
That's right. Mm-hmm. That's right. What time does he go to work?
5 o'clock.
Oh, yeah, we'll be there. We'll be there.
Mm-hmm. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to Season 3, Episode 1 of the Strongly Worded Podcast.
Woohoo!
Yeah, I am Sue O'Lear.
And I am Johnny Hampton.
And we are coming at you on a Sunday afternoon from our cozy dining room studio, just me and Johnny.
Don't turn it off.
I know. But listen, as of Friday, we were at over 2,000 downloads.
Hey, that's good.
2,000 downloads of our little show.
The little engine
that could. In Season 3, we are going to examine the topic of family.
Yes. We both have one.
We do. But there's the family you're born into, the family you create, the one you come from, the one you go to. They're your friends that are family. There's ancestors.
Yeah.
I
have a saying for family that I always use. I say, family is bond, not blood. Relationship, not relation. That's how I look at family.
Well, that's it, isn't it? Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be coming to you with Season 4 shortly. Well, and certainly a topic that I think you and I will both have a lot of insight to share. I mean, our last year and a half now, I guess, for the both of us, our families have gone through a lot.
Yeah, it's we've lost two people who were important, both of our dads, and when that happens, family bonds can change.
Dynamic shift.
Yeah, dynamic shifts, and yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the most I can say about that right now. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, things change when important people pass away. Mm-hmm. And you realize just how important they were in keeping certain parts of the family together.
Joe and I watch a show called Mayans. Do you watch Mayans?
No, is that what is it?
It's the Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, yes.
Splinter off.
Mm-hmm.
And in the show, one of the characters lost his mother.
Mm-hmm.
And he said something about how it's not until they're gone that you see these little things that they left behind that become extraordinary, like a grocery list written on a scrap of paper.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been 5 months since I lost my dad, and really in the last few weeks we've taken an extended break, and one of the reasons why we took a break is I took a big step back in my grieving. Like, I needed some time.
Yeah, well, that happens.
Mm-hmm. And I think about you. We were still on lockdown when you were going through that.
I got lucky in that regard, though. I sometimes I feel like the universe, for me, I always say God sits you down, and I probably needed to sit down. Mm-hmm. Sometimes things happen and you just keep going and going and going and going, and you don't take time to process, and it's going to hit you sooner or later. Mm-hmm. Right? You can't stop it. You can delay it, but you can't stop it. Mm-hmm. And for me, I got to sit home for a month, about a month and a half, because I was working from home during that time, like mid-March, and then I got furloughed in April of 2020, and my dad had not even been gone 2 months. Mm-hmm. And so you get to process that because you're home. Mm-hmm. Nothing to do. Watch CNN. Mm-hmm. Make sure your son does his virtual work.
Yeah.
But everybody needs that. And like I posted this meme the other day, like, grief like comes in like waves, right? Mm-hmm. And it's true. It's very true. And I would like to tell you, it gets a lot better.
No.
It doesn't get better. You just learn to deal with it.
Mm-hmm. And for me, my dad died on Saturday night, November 14th, and I was back to work on Tuesday. I was back in the gym on Saturday. When I was back to work on Tuesday, a transfer and a promotion was in the works that was really probably not going to happen until January 1st, but I went back and talked to my bosses and said, can we do this now? You know, so I did. I orchestrated that that busy because I wasn't.
You probably needed it.
I needed it. I needed some time before I dealt with things.
I think my dad died on a Friday morning, early, middle of the night, so to say. And I coached the game that night. I coached 3 games the next day. Yeah, so you want to keep going because you think it keeps your mind on it, but it doesn't take your mind off it at all.
It really doesn't.
Nah, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Yeah.
And I'm over now. We're in April. We're 14 months, and the last couple of weeks I've been doing some things that I know he would have been proud of, and kind of wish he was here to see, and that brings a certain sadness.
It does.
It does. So.
And I try to never say to you, "Oh, he can see you," because that doesn't help. It doesn't help when I hear it. I get it. I get I get it.
Yeah, I mean.
But it's not the same.
Nah, it's not the same. It's not the same. But yeah, it's not the same. I like to believe he's seeing everything, and I know he's proud of me and Anthony. I know he's proud of us all, because he had things in mind for all of us, and it's working out like he thought it would, which is good. Yeah, it's working out like he thought it would.
Yeah. My mom came into the gym yesterday to see Carolyn's game, and
look.
For just a second, it got me.
Yeah, I mean, I was very happy to see her. Yeah, I was happy to see her, and she was like, "I'm happy to be seen."
That sounds just like her.
And
but she had to feel it too for a second walking in there without Dad.
Yeah, and my mom asked me once, how it is coaching in the league, because I coached with my dad all those years. Don't you feel sad when you walk in? I said, yeah, every Saturday. Every Saturday. Yep. I feel it every time I go in there.
Yep.
Every time I'm coaching or every time I watch Anthony play, of course. Like, how could I not? Like, that's not going to change.
Nope.
No, it's not going to change. And it's funny because you posted that picture, and that's how I view. That's how I view him.
Yep. Sitting on a bleacher.
Yeah, he was always so kind to me personally. I didn't know him well, but he knew we coached his grandson, and he would always have a kind word to say, good game, and all this kind of stuff. And that's what I remember.
He absolutely loved people.
Yeah, so that
loved people.
That's what I remember about him. Just him coming to the games.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I was happy she was there though.
Me too. So, my family, my immediate family, is comprised of my husband and I, and our 2 kids, and our bonus kid that lives here with us.
And my family is my wife and I, and our 2 kids, and our cat Jumpy.
Jumpy's had a rough go lately. I'm glad Jumpy's feeling better.
Yeah, he's feeling better. I didn't know for a while.
I know. It felt a little touch and go for
It was, but they found a problem, and he's gonna be all right. He's gonna be fine.
Yep. And I have 3 brothers, and you're an only.
I'm an only child. Yeah, I'm an only child.
It's my brother calling right now.
Oh yeah.
I'm busy. I'll call you back.
Yeah, I'm an only child. My parents had me when they were young, and my dad used to always say by the time they were ready to have another kid, just financially, being more responsible about it, that I was too old, and they felt like,
I wonder what age that was.
I don't know. I never really asked them, but they were so young. It could have been 10. Like when I was 10, they were only 28.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My youngest brother is 9 years older than me.
Yeah, but and I don't know if they had ever seen anything like that, to think to themselves, we could do it. Like Tiara and Anthony are about 10 years, 10 years apart. We did that. It wasn't intentional, but we did it. And we didn't mind it. So
I think that there's something to be said for, I mean, there are 5 years between Joseph and Carolyn, and it was good to just have all that time with Joseph first.
Yeah.
And then they're not really ever in competition for things or whatever, though sometimes they have vocalized wishing that they had more than 1 year where they were at the same school. When Carolyn was in kindergarten and Joseph was in 5th grade, that's the only time they went to the same school.
wow. Well, and Anthony and Tiara will they will never have that. Wow. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because no more chances now.
Kitchen's closed.
Yeah, he's out of here. He's out of regular school at least.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this season we're going to talk about a few different things. I mean, we would like to have our families on the show.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
It ought to be revealing.
I mean, I know you'll get stuff from my wife and you'll get stuff from Tiara. Anthony does not like to talk.
We'll see.
We might have an episode of yes, no.
We put him and Carolyn on together.
Well, that might get him talking. That might get him talking.
Yeah. and I hope that Gio wants to sit down and talk with us about some things too.
That would be interesting.
If it's his story is his to share, but if he wants to, if he finds some benefit in that, I would love for him to share it with us.
Yeah, I would like to hear that too.
And then we have some other guests that we've been talking about. I have a friend from Flint, and she is a pretty amazing woman. We did theater together. She's got a beautiful singing voice, very soulful, and she is a very successful entrepreneur, and we'll talk about that briefly. But she, one of the many reasons I thought it would be fun to have her as a guest on the show is she and her sister took a trip to kind of investigate the heritage of her father around the time of what would have been his 100th birthday. And she's just got a very, I think, interesting family story.
I've always wanted to do that, but I don't trust like Ancestry.com. And, like, am I gonna get my money's worth?
I have another somebody that I've known for a long time, and we're not close at all. The sort of Trump and Kavanaugh put us on opposing sides of some things, and we didn't disconnect, but we don't connect the way we used to. But she took her hobby, her sort of interest in genealogy, is that the right word? Genealogy.
Yeah.
And has turned it into a business for herself and has made some really amazing discoveries.
Really?
For families, including her own family members, but others too.
Yeah. I would like to do that. I would like to see, where my family comes from, if they were slaves, where they were slaves, all that kind of stuff. Because a lot of people do that. I have a hard time trusting those things.
Yeah, I get it. But if I were to ever do it, I would want someone like this girl on the hunt for me. But, I know where my father's family originates. And so I went there. And I heard that my last name is not actually Greek. It's Italian. They think it's Italian.
Really?
So the island that my family's from went back and forth in ownership between Greece and Italy.
You got to get on the ancestry.
Well, right. I mean, that was, I'm not going to lie, that was more than a little confusing because we definitely identify as Greek.
Right. We got to, clear that up. For all I know, I could be, a king somewhere.
That'd be cool.
Nah, who knows? Yeah, I used to love going to family reunions, and you learn a lot about the family. But it seems like my generation, we don't do that anymore. Like, as the older people are dying off, we don't have those family reunions anymore.
And we stay connected in different ways. I really think that sometimes social media and things like that could keep us, not that they truly take the place of those types of reunions, but I don't need to go to a party in a hall somewhere to find out what my cousin's been up to because I see the pictures she posts every day.
Yeah, but you need to go there.
You need to connect.
Yeah, man.
For sure. I mean, I get that, but I Well, I mean, high school reunion. I don't think high school reunions are even.
Yeah, that's not a thing.
What they
I
once
remember
were.
one of the family reunions I went to. I met, I want to say a cousin, and his father was also a cousin. Was the one who married my parents.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna get that on social media,
Right.
and like that story just came about because we were in the same area and we were talking. And he was like, "Oh, blah blah blah." Like, that's crazy.
And I like, what you learn about other people when you're with the people who knew them when.
But we don't do it anymore.
No.
I used to. It's probably on hold forever now because of the pandemic. But I used to do a family cruise every year, and that was born out of us not going to the family reunion.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was a family reunion that cost too much money, we thought, to go to Charleston, South Carolina. And I remember telling my grandmother, well, we don't need to go to an organized family reunion to have a family reunion. We can just go somewhere and invite the family.
Right.
And she said, good, you plan it. And we did, and it went on from like 2008 until 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd have different family members. The only thing we required was we all sit down at dinner together,
Mm-hmm.
and you talk and fellowship, and that's good. That's good stuff, man.
It is for sure.
And I don't know, I miss those kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have them anymore.
My dad was a storyteller. He was a Toastmaster and competed in different storytelling and speech giving competitions.
You need to maybe in our group post that Elvis story. That is hilarious. That's good stuff right there.
Yeah.
I watched that whole thing.
Yeah. So we got. I mean, his stories were always a little bit like tall tales with a hint of truth. Like they were inspired from something true and sort of took on a life of their own. And he, of course, told the same ones over and over. And I'm starting to lose them a little in my head. But the grandkids, I think, they each have their favorites. And I want to find a way. I want them to write them down. I want to keep them.
Yeah.
We need to have them before they're, before they fade away.
Yeah. My dad was not a storyteller, but he was hilarious. He used to always tell me when I was a teenager, I need to start saying this more to Anthony. He used to say the Hamptons had a family motto. Did I ever tell you that? They said the Hampton family motto was "Don't be an asshole." And so
That's a great motto.
So we'd be places when I was, 13, 14. And if I was getting out of hand, he would look at me and said, "Remember the motto." He would do that all the time.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's right. We have been atypical, the O'Lears, with our kids. We've always had a line of communication or the way we talk about things that other families don't.
Yeah, I mean, everybody parents different.
Yeah.
So
we were... One night, the four of us, and Carolyn is probably still a little young for this. My dad would certainly think so. Playing the app on your phone version of Apples to Apples, and it's called Evil Apples.
What is that?
It's just Apples to Apples is just a funny comparison game. You put these cards together to come up with funny, absurd stuff. But Evil Apples is dirty, not dirty, but like adult.
Yeah.
There's stuff about poop and
trust me, man, they're in middle school, they're hearing it all anyway.
Yeah, right. And I'd just rather them hear it from us.
Mm-hmm.
So one was particularly surprising that we had the audacity to say in the group of the four of us, and Carolyn was like, well, we're the O'Lears. And that has become our family motto. We're the O'Lears.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. But another couple of guests I'm hoping will join. I have a friend who has written a series of books about the difficult and complex relationships between mothers and daughters.
Oh, that's a good one. Because that is... Yeah, that's a good one. Mm-hmm. I find mothers and daughters, a lot, butt heads as the daughters get older. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what, I think a lot of times, in my house at least, I think a lot of times, a lot of communication gets lost. But I also think, it's not easy parenting. And kids sometimes think it is. And, you know, they seem to remember their childhoods a lot differently. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes. And I think mothers take a lot of brunt of that, because a lot of times moms are out front, and dads are not all the time.
Dads very often get to be the fun one because they play.
Yeah.
Dads play. They parent a lot through play.
Yeah, you know, I don't think my kids would call me the fun one. I don't, but I also think they think their mom is super tough on them, and maybe that's true, but there's a reason for it. And sometimes you got to take a step back and think about what the reason for it is. And I'm not sure all kids do that.
Yeah. Well, of course they don't.
Yeah.
And then they have kids. And then they look at us grandparenting and they're like,
who are these people?
Who are these people?
I look forward to the day, hopefully for my son is in the far, far future, right? But I look forward to the day they have kids. I can't wait to see that. And they'll do it differently than we did, and they'll do some things better than us.
Absolutely.
And
it can't get much worse. I say my kids are who they are despite who raised them.
Yeah, exactly,
Perhaps
right.
not because of who raised them.
So, you know, and I hope they do. You know, I do things different than my parents. It's not better or worse, but I do things different. And some things I feel like I do better. But, yeah, I can't wait. I really looking forward to Tiara having kids.
Does she want to have kids?
I think, yeah, I believe so. And I want to see Tiara be a parent, and the style she'll parent, and what she will allow and not allow. I'm looking forward to that.
Joseph has always wanted to be a parent. I mean, that's really the only goal that has been consistent
in his life
from him is that he wants to be a parent.
Oh man, he's gonna. I hope he's not telling the ladies that.
Well, there has been conversation surrounding that, like, son. No.
No.
It's a good goal for later.
No, I didn't mean that. But
Let's not. Yeah.
I just meant, shoot, man. Ladies are looking for that.
That's something that I've talked to him about quite a bit.
Yeah, ladies are. Listen, man. That may not play great in high school, but you get 2021 and you talking about, hey, you know, I've always wanted to, you know, looking the way he looks.
I wouldn't even say that it doesn't play great in high school. We started having these conversations in middle school. I mean, his first girlfriend was great and, you know, sweet and gorgeous and all these things, but also I think based on what I kind of know about where she comes from, we'll be looking for a way out of that.
Gosh. Well.
And so, you know, my cute, smart, basketball playing kid, it could happen. I mean, not in 7th grade, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully not in 7th grade.
Please, Lord, no.
I mean, he did, you know, get his first hickey from that girl, so.
You know,
that was my fault, though.
Yo,
I never should have trusted them.
You know, part of living here in a small town is that you can avoid that for a long time because they can't go nowhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? Till they start driving or whatever. Like right now, you have a tremendous amount of control. You know, then they hit 16, and then you got, hey, listen, man.
Wow, you know, 18 has been something because truly, you know, on paper, he's an adult or whatever. Yeah. And I have wondered how many of those. Well, I'm 18. You can't tell me, but Joseph has far more respect for Joe and I than that.
Because you know why though? Because you guys have always respected him. That's why. So yeah, you know. Yes. So my parents were the same way. When I got 18, I wasn't really talking tough or nothing like that because they never batted me down like when I was a kid. Like there was. As I got older, I got more freedom, and I was allowed to do more things. So, yeah, you're not going to have that issue with him.
I mean, I even remember having to hide some of the music I listened to from my parents because they'd taken tapes or CDs away.
Well,
And it's just a little thing, but I remember saying to Joe, like, we're not going to do that to our kids.
no, but
I'm not going to love their music, but I'm not going to make them.
yeah, but
have to hide it.
that's a different generation.
Well, right. I'm not saying it even as a bad thing, but just
Yeah.
little things that we made conscious decisions to, because they evolve into
Yeah.
bigger things.
It's so funny because like you and I are not that far off in age difference, right? But because my parents were 18, I remember I came home once from school and my dad was cleaning the house to freaking Snoop Dogg. Ain't no
You said
fun.
Well, it was probably more similar to the experience my oldest brother had my parents at that young age.
Right. So like for
I'm not allowed to tell their age,
no,
No,
you know,
Mom
we
said
will
when they had
we
them,
will
but-
not discuss that.
but it ended with a teen.
No, so yeah, you know, my dad listened to Tupac and Biggie, and you know, my mom loves Tupac to this day. So I never had that experience.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah, I had to listen to my son's playlist yesterday though.
No.
He's like, Dad, can I listen to my playlist in your car? Sure, because you know you want to bond with your son. It's like, sure.
Yep. So you do. You suck it up and you.
And
Okay.
and a couple of those songs, I was just like,
Yeah. But then Joseph will listen. He would listen to music with me, and he has a playlist on his Spotify that's old school. That is music I played for him.
yeah, my son, he was listening to something the other day. I was like, yo, I am the one who showed you the song. No, TT did. Man, you don't drive in her car. She lived in Tampa.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the songs are killing them in the car, and then just put them on the story or doing other stuff.
But that just shows you're getting through.
Yeah, you know.
Shows you're getting through.
You know, my wife always yells at me. You know, I was telling her the other day, I was like, yo, my son, you know, sometimes I get in my feelings with him. And I think, you know, my wife has said this and I'm starting to agree. Ebony has said this and you know, me and my dad had such a good relationship. It was, I haven't seen a father-son like that. And, you know, part of that is the age. You know what I'm saying? Like, we grew up together, kind of. You know, we had the same interests. We were like best friends. And so you want that with your son. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get it, though.
Right?
You know what I mean? And so she was telling me, like I was saying to her, well, I was in my feelings about something. I forget what it was. He said something to me. He hurts my feelings a lot. But he's 13. He doesn't know. And I said something to her, and I was like, you know, yeah, I don't know if he likes me very much sometimes. And she was like, don't be silly. Your son loves you. You just think you're going to have that same relationship with your dad, and you're not. Like, you know, I'm probably a little more stricter than my dad was. When my dad was 18.
Yep.
When I had Anthony, I was whatever age. Nah, I was in my 30s when I had him. So I was a little bit different. So, but yeah, I mean, and then sometimes he'll show me, you know what I mean?
Well, Ebony's not the only one that said that to you.
Yeah, you said that too. You did. A lot of people have said it. You've said it. I think my mom has said it at one point too. So I had a great dad. I just want to be great too. You know, I want my kids to look back and say, "Hey, man, that was great." And Ebony said to me, you know, the relationship I have with my dad, I actually have that relationship with Tiara, which is probably true. It's probably true.
Yeah.
And who knows, if my dad would have had a little girl, maybe that would be the case. And she said the relationship me and Anthony have is kind of like what me and my mom might have. And me and my mom are close, but sometimes, you know, we butt heads. But we're close, though. So that might be true. You know, she's been around long enough to make that comment.
Yeah. And another aspect of family that I know we plan to talk about, and we've had some conversations about some of our friends that might come on because we've created a family of friends together here too.
Yeah, you know, being an only child, right? Like, your friends become family sometimes. Because I have 3 friends that I don't see as much anymore. 3 of my best friends, and they're like brothers to me. Like when my dad died, 2 of them flew down, hopped on a plane, and flew down here. And I don't, you know, they're like brothers to me. And so, you know, so a lot of, and I choose my friends super, I don't, everyone is not my best friend. Okay, I don't talk to everybody about everything. I've always been that way. You know, I like a lot of people, but I used to always say, you know, people used to say, oh, you're friends with this guy. And I used to say, nah, that person hasn't been at my house for dinner, and I haven't been to theirs. So, no, we're not friends. Those are people I consider friends. You know, people that I hang out, people I can trust. So, not everyone's a friend of mine. Some people probably hearing this will say, oh, shit, I'm not Johnny's friend. And you know what? You're right. You're probably right.
When I owned the studio, my partner used to say to me that I was really good at making our clients feel really important or feel really kind of under the wing, really close. She said, but you don't reveal yourself to any of them. Like, they think they do. They think that, you know. And I was pretty protective of, especially in that line of work when you're giving so much, you got to hang on to something.
Right.
Doesn't sound like a compliment when I re-explain it, but she meant it like that I was good at creating these groups or these people who sort of became teams and training, doing stuff that's physical, especially when people are trying to make a change in their life. It becomes very mental as well and very emotional. There's a lot of stuff that has to click
Yes.
on the inside to, you know, have stuff change and click on the outside. And people shared a lot of stuff with me, and I didn't always share back, you know, because you can't give that much of yourself to everybody.
Yes, and I don't. You know, and it's funny because if you see me out and about, you would think I do. Because I'm a super, like, I like talking to everyone. I like talking.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I got that from my grandfather and my father. But everybody is not my best friend.
Right.
And, you know, over the past couple of years, even with social media, like, I don't, if you request me, I don't add you just because. Like, I don't need to have 2,000 friends on Facebook.
Right.
Like, I don't do that. And I don't want anybody to take it personal. I mean, it's not a personal thing, but that's where I share my life. You know what I'm saying? So, for me, if I don't feel you're worthy of that, I don't share that.
Right.
Because those are people I feel like are important. I've shared a lot of my family stuff. So I gotta feel like you're that important to me.
Right. And I do still have a few people from that life back there that, you know, like I have a friend named Bridget who sends me funny things that she runs across that she knows we would both have laughed, you know, we both laugh at together.
I think she listens to the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's commented.
Yeah. And, you know, my friend Lee that we go see in the summer and things like that. So, you know, to not say all of my relationships were not, but you definitely have to hold something back.
Yeah, and
everybody doesn't get every part of you.
In every stage of my life, I've picked up friends who I consider family. But yeah, like you said, it's not everyone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not everyone.
And I've had a few different significant groups of friends that we were family at the time. And, you know, you grow or you evolve or change or move or whatever. Yeah. But, you know, like this group of girlfriends that I had just after I graduated college, we went on vacation together a couple of years ago. You know, I mean, you can pick up where you left off. They're still family to me. My girlfriend Mel, she lost her father a couple months ago, and I'm actually an asshole right now because she reached out and wanted to talk, and I was going through kind of my hard weekends, and I couldn't do it yet. And I owe her. She needed me, and I wasn't there.
No, but listen. What I found with that is that sometimes people are so quick to want to talk about their grief that it overshadows yours. So you might be right not to return that call right now.
Yeah.
You gotta take time for yourself sometimes.
I know, but I do love her very much, and I don't know all the details. I feel like perhaps maybe she was surprised by it.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. So I will, and then you know I had a group of friends in high school that were family.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I got all that.
And so I still have one or two from each group that are still with me. But our current group here, Carolyn used to call us the basketball family or the B fam. But even that's evolved into we don't need the B.
Yeah, it's blood in, blood out now.
Yeah. Well, and we trust each other with our kids. And I think that's significant.
Listen, I still remember, Ebony is very protective with our kid. Tiara probably doesn't remember now. Tiara just gotten older now. But Eb does not trust everyone with her kids, period. That's the end of that sentence. And I still remember being at whatever party we were at, and Eb turned to Joe, hey, do you think you'd be able to pick up Anthony? And me just thinking to myself, what the hell is going on? Because she hadn't mentioned it to me. She hadn't said, hey, I was thinking about this. You had already offered it. And I don't even know if she was there. I might have mentioned it to her, but I didn't even press it. I didn't even say, hey, you want this to be an option? I just mentioned it to her. And I remember her, so I'm like, wow. So yeah, that's a big deal. We do trust each other with our kids.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, when in ball, Joseph took a year off of playing for you and your dad.
Yeah.
A season off. And then when he made the decision he wanted to go back, Carolyn wanted to come too. For a couple reasons.
Yeah.
But the way you and Victor, I don't want to discredit Victor on this, but the way you have taken her under your wing is changed her life.
You think so?
I do.
Oh, that's
I absolutely do.
Are you trying to make me cry on the podcast?
Well, I've already cried once today.
That's.
But it has. I mean, you don't see that?
I don't. Sheesh.
Carolyn has been searching for something for a long time. First, it was a best friend. That's kind of what the search fell under for a while. And she's tried a lot of different things, a lot of different activities, and hasn't found the thing that really drives her. And she's watched Joseph have this thing for a long time. And, she went to dance class for a couple of years, and that was fine. But she had more fun in my Zumba classes, she said. Or, she ran for a while. She did a couple of years of Girls on the Run, and that was fine. But it wasn't the sisterhood that she was looking for.
Right.
And then when she made the move and when she started in the Knicks, I will say Fitz was very tenderhearted with her, regardless of how anything played out. He looked out for her because he knew she was very shy about playing on a co-ed team.
Most girls are.
She had played with girls at Upward, and it's Upward, right? And so that was very nice, the way he looked out for her like that. But then when she came to the prospects and started to have confidence in what she was doing and finding that it was her love of doing all this, not trying to just replicate what we have with Joseph.
Right.
You helped light that fire. You absolutely did.
Well,
you gave her something that she really cares about.
Well, I don't know what to say. I just try to do what I do. So.
I think that losing her grandfather would have been very different without being a prospect.
Really? Why do you say that?
Because she gets up and goes to practice.
Well, she would.
She moves her body.
Yeah.
She gets up and goes, and she gets up and goes.
Yeah, but that could have been on an 18, though. I don't have much to do with that.
I think what I think. I said what I said.
Hey, listen, you would know more.
I said what I said.
I enjoy Miss Carolyn, Miss C as I call her. I enjoy talking to her, enjoy coaching her. As I've told her and you, she's like a player my dad would have absolutely loved. She continues to get better. She works hard at it. Victor and I have something to do with that, but like I always said, you can't get better if you don't work. So Victor and I can tell you what to do till we're blue in the face. And we would. And we absolutely would. But without them actually doing the work, nothing happens.
Yep.
And so she's done the work.
Yep.
And when you become good at basketball, or any sport really, right? Other people know it. And it brings you a community you never knew existed.
Absolutely.
And that is probably what also she's experiencing. Because while a lot of these boys always look down to girls, they know she's one of the best girls in the league. How about you they know that? They may not think she's as good as the boys, but if they're going to pick a girl, it's going to be her. Right? Yeah. So they know that, you know. And like some of the best players in the league have told me that specifically. So
that's my girl.
Yeah, man. Yeah. She's got big things in the future. Yeah. I'm not surprised people are talking to her. I knew that was going to happen.
I went right over to Eric. I said, I hear you were talking to my girl. And he knew. We talked after that Knicks championship last, whenever that was. And
yeah.
So he knew who I was, and I knew who he was. But he said, don't worry, Mom. She shot me down. Flagler United is a new kind of travel basketball experience for male and female athletes ages 8 to 18 here in Flagler County and beyond. For kids looking for quality coaching, ethical mentorship, competitive play, and a sense of unity in the community, look no further than Flagler United. To learn more about the program, check out their videos on Facebook and Instagram or visit flaglerunited.org. Tryouts are happening now for our summer season. And if you or your business is looking for a great sponsorship opportunity, Flagler United would love to work with you. Please email Coach Johnny at flaglerunited@gmail.com and he'll give you all the details. Flagler United. Together we play, united we ball.
But yeah, you know, so for me, you know, a lot of friends are family to me because of being an only child. Because I don't have those siblings. You know, my wife is a little bit different. She is much more guarded when it comes to her friends, because she has her sisters. She don't need them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you know, she's got her sisters and she's got a brother. She doesn't necessarily need that. You don't know she has a brother?
Ebony has a brother?
Yeah, she's got a brother. He was here. He came when Bubby passed away. Yeah, she's got a brother. Yeah, named Aaron.
Wow.
Yeah, see, you learn something new every day.
It's a
good thing we did family season 3.
I guess so.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I don't know that I've ever heard her reference her brother.
Wow, never? She never talks about Aaron? She's going to have to.
Sorry, Aaron, if you're listening.
She's going to have to account for that.
I know, maybe I should edit this part out. But.
Yeah, nah, I mean, Aaron, and it's not a brother like she doesn't know. Like we used to see.
Older or younger?
I used to see, younger. He is the youngest.
Okay, oh.
Yeah, so he's younger than Velvet.
All right.
Yeah. We used to see him every Sunday. He used to always go to Bubby's house for dinner.
Oh.
Yeah, he looks just like a father too, boy.
Really?
Looks a lot like their dad. They all do though. You know, I mean the ones who
I've only seen that one photo on Facebook.
So Aaron, I know we have to have pictures of Aaron at the house. I got it.
Yeah. All right. Well,
he's a funny dude.
Who knew? Yeah. So I have 3 brothers, but felt only childish somewhat because I never lived in the house with my oldest brother. I mean, he's 17 years older than I am, 15 years older than I, something, you know. And I'm not really close with any of them. But then things happen and I realize I very much have siblings. Like when my father passed away, I can't imagine being the only one having to navigate that alone. Even with the drama or the things that come up that I had, I was happy that I wasn't handling a lot of things on my own.
Yeah, so, you know, we had Charles Yarborough on the show, right? He came on one of our cruises one year, and me and him were talking. And he was thinking about having another child, but he wasn't sure. And they haven't, so, but he asked me, I think his wife was there too. And we were just sitting on a Lido deck, chilling. And he
Your umbrella drink.
Yeah, exactly. And he was like, hey, you know, how is it being an only child? And I said to him, when you're young, it's great. Because regardless, like, you know, I wasn't spoiled or anything like that, but, you know, you get all your parents' attention, the grandparents, all that kind of stuff, right? But as you get older,
yeah,
when you have, it only falls to you, your parents only trust you. That gets tougher. And it's not that my parents are, they're not burdens or anything like that. They weren't. My dad was never a burden to me. My mom is not a burden to me. She doesn't call me as much as she should, actually. I'm always on her about that. But, I'm the only one. So when my dad passed away, and it came to the insurance and making sure my mom was situated and all that kind of stuff, I was the only one. I couldn't share it with anybody. And that's when it gets tough, when you get older. And also because, when my mom passes away, who will I talk to about how our family was? Some people can talk, Eb can talk to her sisters about, remember mommy this, and remember this, remember that. I won't have anyone to talk to about that.
Yeah.
It will just be me alone with my thoughts. And that, I'm not looking forward to that.
I understand.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, being an only child has benefits and drawbacks. But that's like anything in life, right?
It's like anything in life. My brothers and I could be slugging it out. Who knows?
Right. Nah,
I don't think we will.
Nope.
No, it'll be interesting, based on a little bit about what you know about my situation. I have one brother who's incarcerated.
Yeah.
And, that has an impact. And I have one brother that I really don't have any relationship with at all, which has an impact in all of this. And then I have one brother who he and I have always been able to come together when we needed to. This time seems to be sticking, which is nice. It's nice to have a brother.
Yeah, listen, that is, it's a traumatic event. Even when you expect it, it still is a traumatic event.
Yeah.
I often think about, and I've said this on the podcast, and I say it a lot, would it have been better to know my dad be sick and be there, or is it better to just get that call like I did? And I don't think either way.
Either way,
it's just different. It's not different. It's not better. It's just different. And so when that happens, two things can happen. You either come together or you come apart. And you and your brother seem to come together, which is good.
Yeah, I'll take it for sure. And I think too, though, Joe won't really indulge me in this, and I don't mean it to be self-indulgent, but I realize now where maybe I wasn't as good as I could have been when he lost his mom, because I was still thinking about it from an intellectual place and not a place of any real experience. His mom was ill, and she didn't want to fight it. She was ready to just have her kids next to her and let go.
Yeah, he told me that.
That is not what I experienced with my dad. But even so, I thought I kind of saw the peace in it, or maybe the relief in it for her.
Right.
I didn't understand the finality of it.
But now you do.
And now I do.
Yeah,
we've had some pretty nice, if you can call it nice, but some good moments since then, kind of reconnecting about his mom too, because I didn't get it.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Losing a parent is tough, and I've been told that before, but until you experience it, is the range of emotions you feel daily, weekly, monthly,
It's
yearly.
the person that has known us since we were born.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and some of the messages I receive from friends, even, just on Facebook. Somebody that I knew in college, that I was friends with in college, and, we like each other's pictures of each other's kids, but he welcomed me to the club, and it sounds flip, but the way he wrote this very thoughtful, loving message, because he had lost both his parents within, I think, a year of each other. It was just really nice.
Yeah, because they understand.
Because they get it.
Yeah. And in that regard, I'm kind of happy that I lost a parent first. Like, we lost Eb's dad not too, but I understood. I know now. Like, it's a tough thing, and I'm still dealing with it. I probably always will be.
Well, we always will be. How could we not? I can't imagine now a time where I'm not going to have a thought or a memory about my dad when I see something in my kids or my grandkids.
That's the toughest part. Like seeing, especially now, seeing Anthony play so well, and him not being here to see it. You know, and you know, if he makes the high school team, and I always say if because you never know, him not being there to see him play a game. And we used to talk, and I used to say that, you know, like, you gotta take care of yourself, don't you? Oh, I'm gonna see him in high school, son. I'm gonna see him. And now he's not. And, you know, so it's a void that can't be filled. And so, like yesterday when he's playing in that game for the Wolverines, and he's scoring all those points against a team that has JV players. They couldn't stop him. He was doing whatever he wanted to do.
Yep.
And, you know, it's like, man, I wish he was here to see this. Because everything he wanted for him seems to be coming. Everything seems to be coming.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, and I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
So, yeah, you know, I can imagine it's the same for you. So, you know, Joseph plays senior night and plays his last game. He's got his last playoff game.
Yesterday.
Yeah, or the Flagler United game where she's playing with all girls and she's starting and she's bringing the ball up and all that kind of stuff. Like,
yep,
he would have loved that.
He would have loved it. Yep, and she notices his absence after experiences like that when she would normally come home and text him. And, yeah, it's tough. She will sometimes start to try to go down that road of, oh, I wish I would have spent more time. I wish I wouldn't have gotten impatient with this or that, you know, and I shut it down really quick. Nope.
Because that's normal kid stuff.
Yes.
Then you're expecting yourself to be 20 years old?
The grandkids growing up and evolving and whatever. He was not at home sad, wishing that his dose was, you know.
Yeah, they understand.
They get it.
Right,
Yeah.
because they've been through it.
Yeah.
They've had kids of their own.
Yeah.
So they understand that. You know. And, you know, she's young, though. You know, for me, I squeezed everything I could out of a relationship with my dad. So no regrets, you know what I mean? My son, he was young. You know, Tiara got the best out of that deal.
Yeah.
So, you know, he doesn't say much about it. He doesn't say much about anything, though. He's like his mom in that regard. Like, he keeps his emotions pretty close. I worry about him with that. But, you know, you and my wife, once again, have told me he is who he is, so just let him rock. I've been doing a little bit more of that. But I posted something on Snapchat, which I don't normally do. It was like it was a picture of me and my dad. A good one. My mom has it. And I'm young, and we're in Flushing, Queens. And he has his arm around me, and I look so happy. He must have just came home from work or something. And I said, I wish you were here. And my son replied to the story, same. And that's about what I get from him. You know what I mean?
But
like,
it's a lot.
Yeah, but it's a lot. It's the same equals I miss him too.
Yeah.
And I wish he was here too. And, you know, so, yeah, you know, I worry about him with that because the basketball was so connected to his grandfather. You know? But like I said, he doesn't talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think he talks about it with anyone because I've checked. So, but yeah, he's doing okay.
He's doing great.
Yeah. Sue is a big fan of Anthony.
I am a big fan of Anthony. Not just because he wore a Mays jersey yesterday. I was a fan before.
Yeah, he came over to me and said, "Hey, I'm sorry, Dad. I'm gonna be a Wolverine." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
He's like, "I'm gonna play with him." I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah." I assumed that Joe had asked him.
He offered. And I snatched that right up. Yes, son. I am not the coach, nor do I pretend to be one. But yes, you can play with our team today. Our team that was missing its top 3 players all at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, like.
And then you scored 17 of our 21 points. Thank you, son. Here's some Skittles. Anything you want.
Yeah, Fitz came over
fun.
and he was like, I was like, Anthony's playing? He's like, yeah. I said, it's not going to be a fourth. He's like, no. They're down 3 players. I was like, okay, cool. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it was fun.
That was fun. He he enjoys telling me to shush when I'm not coaching. I said something to him. He put his finger up to his lips, told me to be quiet. You need to cut more. Okay, you're not listening.
That's what it is. So yes, season 3 will be an exploration of family. And I'm really looking forward to it. I think we've got the potential for some great guests again. Mm-hmm. Some great topics.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great. I think,
I'm sure everybody's dying to meet Joe and Ebony.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
I would think.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to...
Ebony's a force, you guys.
Yeah, we're going to turn the levels of the mic down when she...
It'll be good.
Yeah, I mean, I hope she, she's nervous about coming on. But...
Well, I get it, because she'll have to reveal a bit of herself, and that's not...
Nah, I mean, not really. I mean...
Oh, come on. We sit here, we talk.
Yeah, I mean, but she don't got no, I don't know. So, we'll see.
Listen, I'm a very thought-provoking and probing interviewer. I get answers to things.
Yes.
To the questions everybody has in their head.
Yes, Palm Coast Oprah.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Maybe we can have her and Joe on the same day. Mm-hmm. And they can yell at each other.
They like each other, though.
Yeah. They
join forces sometimes.
Yeah.
And we don't stand a chance.
Yeah. Eb joins forces with everybody. Yeah, man. She was killing me last night. I was like, Eb, I'm not going to do this. You should.
Well, we might not need to talk about that on the podcast.
I'm
we'll
not
see what happens there.
Yeah.
More to come.
We got to see how it all shakes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, listeners, we hope that you will enjoy us for another great examination of what I think will be a really interesting topic over the next few weeks. Until then, you can find us on Facebook at the Strongly Worded Podcast group. If you're not already a member, please click and join. You can find us on Instagram at the Strongly Worded Pod. Our website is thestrongly.wordedpod.com. Of course, we're on Twitter at the Strongly Worded P.
Yes, excellent.
Yeah. All right, Johnny, it's good to be back in the chair again. Thanks for giving me some time off that I needed to clear my head.
Oh, yeah. It's funny. You hadn't mentioned the podcast, and me and Joe were playing golf one of those Sundays or Saturdays, and I said to him, I'm not mentioning it at all. He was like, yeah. It's like, I understand.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because I think the comment was something like, because she always talks about the podcast, so if she's not.
Yeah, that's what I said to him. I said, she talks about the podcast a lot, and she hasn't in a couple, and it had been some days. And I was like, I know.
Yep.
I was like, yeah. But that's all right. We're back in action now.
Back in the saddle.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to do this.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. And we will be coming at you next week with our first episode on family.
Yeah.
All right. Strongly Worded. This Strongly Worded podcast is written and produced by Johnny Hampton and Sue O'Lear. Music production and vocals by Marshall Max LaMont Hamilton, and cover art